We went on the local scene to learn about child and family services.
My name is Pam Ballerino. I am the Vice President of Acute Care Services, which means that I oversee the 24-hour programs at Child and Family Services. What we do is outpatient services, psychiatric services. We have mentor programs. We have many programs, including adoption programs. But we also have what's called the 24-hour program, which is mobile crisis, as well as two voluntary units, two crisis units, an adult unit and a child unit. Our mobile crisis is actually in 3 sites. It's Fall River, New Bedford, and Plymouth. So the mobile crisis has been around for a really long time. We've actually been in Plymouth for quite some time. But one of the things has changed for us is that on January 3rd, we became a community behavioral health center, which means that we have the ability now to provide open access to folks who are not in crisis and just need to receive treatment in order to be stabilized in the community. This is perfect for somebody who, is suffering from depression, anxiety, but are not in crisis, where they need immediate intervention, where they can actually just walk in, they can see someone, and then determine from there what the next steps are. And that could mean that they might see a therapist ongoing through Child and Family, or psychiatry ongoing through Child and Family. Or there's somebody who actually are considered acute. And if they're considered acute, then the mobile crisis team, which is 24/7, 7 days a week, we never close, including holidays. We have master's level clinicians that will actually meet with the individual, complete an assessment, and make a decision what the next steps are.
As a mobile crisis clinician, what we typically do, we meet people at home, in the community, or at any facility that's requiring an assessment for someone who might be unsafe, from the high end to the low end of maybe just wanting some more information about mental health or substance use, community resources, that kind of thing. So we see clients at different points in the crisis spectrum, right? So if someone's looking for therapy, we have a little bit more of a conversation about, recommendations for care, but our goal is always to provide the least restrictive version of treatment resources. Part of it too is really kind of giving that education and expectation going into an assessment of, what is this process going to look like, what could be outcomes, and really kind of outlining that with people as part of that process.
We are available for walk-ins. We're available to meet families anywhere in the community, in their home, their schools, sometimes even coffee shops. We've done that. So we are definitely trying to get the word out that there's more resources available on site and in the community than going to an emergency room.
Anybody that's gone to emergency rooms see that patients that are considered a behavioral health patient, they get dressed in a very different gown than the rest of the patients. Your sense of privacy, right, sometimes can be gone, because if you're waiting in the hallway, people are walking by you, they can see you. There's always that anxiety of being in an emergency room, especially if you're suffering from mental health, where if you come to your community behavioral health center, the crisis team, you have a room that you can sit in. It is private. No one's going to see you in there. We're going to see you pretty quickly from the time you arrive to our site, and be able to get you to where you need to get to, right? Whether it's outpatient, partial, or inpatient, or the crisis center. So I think the turnaround is one of the biggest things that I really want to tell people, but also the sense of privacy and dignity.
Our goal is to meet more people so that they don't feel like they have to go to an ER to wait, so that we can get that assessment to them. And best practice shows that seeing people where they are in the community and not in a restrictive setting like an ER is really best practice to have that assessment to look for better outcomes. It's really up to the client and what they're comfortable with. So if coming to the office isn't an option, on their perspective, we try and work around that and find a way to meet in the middle.
A lot of people come to us, they've tried different avenues or tried to reach out to resources on their own without luck or hitting some barriers. We do often get positive feedback, whether or not that is a family that has taken the time to write us an email thanking us for our services, or to call to follow up and just let us know how great our recommendation was, and that so-and-so is in a program right now and doing very well. So we do get a lot of positive feedback, and that's all we hope for, is just pointing someone in the right direction and that it's helpful.
We had it was a young adult in our office who needed to go to an inpatient facility. And I stopped in the room just to say hi and to the mom and to the patient. And the mom, I said, how are things going? And she said, I just want to say thank you for not sending my daughter to the emergency room. And my daughter has been inpatient more than once, and the experience has not always been a great one. And this is by far the best experience. If you're going to have to go to an inpatient facility and you have to wait to go, she's like, I'd much rather have her here. She's comfortable, she's watching TV, we have books, and not having all the chaos that happens in an emergency room. And she said, this has to be one of the best experiences we ever had.
I really believe in mobile crisis. I think it's important to see people where they're out in the community. And, we're available, so feel free to call us.
And again, it's just a conversation, but there's nothing to be uncomfortable about. We've all been through different walks of life here. I think we all have a reason why we're in the mental health field in the first place, and we just want to be that person that's here to listen to you and try and get you set up with something that's going to help.
If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe to the local scene here and share everywhere. Thank you, friends.